You know, we see businesses succeed and fail all the time. But what's the hidden engine driving that? It's not always about having a great product or a genius marketing plan. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the one thing that's absolutely central to it all: financial management. And you might be surprised to hear it's way more of a science than just, counting cash. So let's just start with a really direct question. Think about it. Is it a world-changing product, a brilliant team, a marketing plan that goes viral? All of those things are obviously super important. But what is the one single thing that, if you take it away, everything else just grinds to a halt? The answer: it's money. Or, to be more precise, it's the management of that money. This right here is the absolute core of it all. Financial management isn't just a vague idea. It's the actual science of how money is handled, spent, and invested. It's not guesswork. It's a deliberate, systematic process. Okay, but what does managing money really mean in practice? I mean, that's still a pretty broad concept, right? So in this first part, let's peel back the layers and look at the specific actions that this so-called science actually involves. And that word science is so important here because science implies a repeatable method, right? A set of proven principles for making smart decisions based on data and analysis. It's not random. It's a structured discipline, a roadmap really, for getting a business from where it is to where it wants to be. So here's what that cycle looks like in action. It all kicks off with number 1, creation and collection. That's just about bringing money into the business. Then, once you have it, you've got to do number 2, allocation and spending, deciding where that money needs to go to have the biggest impact. Next up is investing, which is all about using money to fuel future growth. And then wrapping around this entire process is planning and controlling, the big picture strategy and monitoring that makes sure the whole system stays on track. It's a constant, active loop. All right, so now we know what it is. Let's dig into why this whole process is considered the absolute lifeblood of any organization. And believe me, the stakes here are incredibly high. This really says it all, doesn't it? The life of a business is money. Think of it exactly like blood in the human body. It has to circulate everywhere. It has to touch every single part for the whole system to function. It is the exact same principle for money inside a business. And this is the crucial takeaway from that idea. It doesn't matter how fantastic your product is or how talented your team is. If the management of money fails, the business fails. It is the fundamental requirement for survival, period. Now, this whole field seems so fundamental today, but was it always this way? To really get a handle on it, I think we need to take a quick look back and see where it actually came from. It's actually kind of hard to believe, but before the 1890s, financial management wasn't even its own thing. It was just considered a little subsection of economics. It took decades for it to grow and branch off and become the distinct, absolutely critical field of study that we know today. And that origin story? Well, it's more than just a fun fact. It totally explains why, even now, financial management pulls so many of its core principles from economics. Its roots are still a huge part of how it operates, shaping the models and theories used to manage money effectively.
All right, let's pull all these threads together now. What are the big takeaways from all of this? And more importantly, why does this matter to you?
So let's do a quick recap. First, we've established that financial management is a science, not some kind of abstract art. Second, it's an active, continuous cycle of planning, allocating, and controlling money. Third, we've seen just how critical it is. It's truly the lifeblood of any organization. And finally, we learned that it grew out of the field of economics, which still influences it in a big way today.
And that leaves us with one final, pretty interesting question. We've spent all this time talking about businesses, but these principles, they're universal. So if managing money really is a science with defined steps like planning, allocating, and controlling, then how can you apply that same scientific thinking to your own personal finances? Definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me for this explainer.